Oh, my neck is tight. I just dropped off the girls like an hour ago. So I've had such a full weekend, but is it the end of the month tomorrow or today? My days are off. But I wanted to finish up the 30 days just with like closure, bringing it together full circle. And I mean, honestly, I didn't want to do the video, and I was thinking that the way that I could motivate myself was what would make me happy about this 30 days. And that was wrapping up. Wrapping it up and really reflecting on what I did, my goals, what I learned. And, the whole point of the challenge was for me to see what I would be motivated to do more of. And I made a bunch of different kind of videos too. There's some meditation videos, there's some self-care ones. And I really like the comments I got on the self-care ones too, because it lets me know what kind of things that are useful to you, that you're ready to actually like use and implement. Read the book, The Answer, okay. And yeah, like it really showed me what is useful and also how I can make things easier, because I like making things easier. And that's been my goal for like the last 4 years, to simplify things. And I love, creating things and trying new things out. And that's one of the things I learned too, is really creativity, how to manage your creative flow, because that's something that we can get just as caught up in and stressed about as any other work or task, right? And you think creativity is supposed to be fun and just, this natural flow coming from you. But it also can be overwhelming if you're not in a calm or a meditative, mindset. If you're stressed out and you're creative at the same time, then your creative flow can be stressful, right? If you're practicing meditation, moving your body, exercising, just being more grounded, then your creativity flows differently. And I feel like it flows a lot easier as well. And for me, it's like you realize as a creative person that what you're seeing all the time is possibilities. You're seeing a network, of ideas growing, and you're building a library of resources for yourself. But it doesn't mean that you got to do all these things, or this is something that you got to try right now. Sometimes a good idea is just something for you to acknowledge and then put it back, or put it in the library, and trust that at the time that you need to use that, or the time that the idea is going to be best implemented, it's going to come. And inspiration comes all the time. And for me, I just see so many different things that I could do and ways I could help people and things I could create. And I know I'm going to die empty and do so many of those things, but not at one time, and not in the order that is in my head. But it's been really restorative to look at what you've done and like look at actually what you've accomplished. And it's 2020, y'all. This is quarantine year, and a lot of things have shifted. People think like everything just fell to shit, but really like things just shifted. Money shifted, power shifted, opportunity shifted, and this is the most fertile time for a lot of us. And you just have to be able to recognize that and see the opportunities in front of you. If anything, see the opportunities within, to get to know yourself, to go deeper into your healing. And I wanted to do music more, right? Because I already did a song last year before I left to Ghana. I did a song with Samaya called Hair. And I love that song. The video was fire. So if you haven't seen that one, it's Hair. If you just put Hair featuring Goddess, you'll find it. And I did that, and I did a couple other songs with Carlton. And I know I wanted to make a goal to do my own song and then do my own video. And I did that, and I did it well. I did it with intention. I did it with lots of work and energy. And I've been working on these products for, I would say, like maybe 2 years for everybody else. For myself, I've been using it for like 5 years. I just don't buy anything. I just make it in the kitchen. If I need to moisturize, need to scrub my face, if I need a mask, everything's in the kitchen. So that's just been my lifestyle. So now having products that I've been selling to local or selling to my family and friends for years, now it's out in the streets. It's at retail locations. It's selling online. Like, I'm doing very well, and I have to take a moment to congratulate myself and be like, yeah, like because you get so overwhelmed or caught up in work and doing and doing and doing that you forget to stop and be like, I did, and that recognition from yourself, that acknowledgement of your hard work makes it easier to work, and it reminds you of the purpose behind the things you do, so that you don't just like one day be like, tired, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I doing again? Because you're just tired. But when you do it with purpose, it's like, I'm gonna go take a break this weekend, or I'm just gonna take some time to myself so I can restore, I can build my strength and go back out there and go hard again. And that's like the wave, the ebb and flow of life. I feel like that's what's natural. I don't think it's natural for us, where we are in our humanity, to just be chill, just be at a plateau, or just we doing the same things. Like, we're made to change and grow and develop. And I want to take advantage of that and do, all of that. Part of it is developing my music brain. So today we're in the music room in the studio where I usually do these videos, and we're doing drills on the piano and stuff. And Nyla's really good. Like, I think something with kids' fingers, like, it's easier. Like, for me, when I first started doing piano, I was like, my fingers are not working. And I could feel those new, like, pathways being made in my mind, in my brain, like building, like, okay, she's starting to do music stuff now. So we're building this part of the brain. I'm starting to do some taekwondo, I'm start building that part of the brain, which is next. I do want to do some martial arts because I'd be good at it. And I want to feel that power in my body, but we'll talk about that another time. So yeah, we did, I launched my products. I have my website. I'm selling it. I'm doing that. And at the same time, I'm still making time to give back and do acts of service like this, answering questions. We had a really good Q&A this month. It was actually last week, and there's a lot of good questions. So if you haven't seen the Q&A video, that one's really good, because when people ask me questions, I try to give you a thorough answer. And this one was specifically on sexual wellness. We talked about PE, porn addiction, vaginal numbness, and emotional blocks in the body, in the vagina. So it's a good, informative video. And yeah, like, that makes me feel good to just answer people's questions. I've been doing that for a while, and I got a lot of requests and questions about coaching, if I'm coming back or if I'm offering it. And I'm coming back for online coaching in 2021. So just wait for me. I'm actually taking some training this winter. So starting in January, I'll be doing online training, working with the author. I don't have her book with me right now, it's over there. But it's called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And I'm gonna be learning more about working with generational trauma and how we can heal that as a community and, address it. So I'm excited about that, especially, learning new things. And I've been doing, this as a service already. So I want to just, build on my foundation of what I know and how I can help, and just be more educated. So educating myself on things that matter. So right now I'm diving deeper into the throat chakra, with the healing, with the singing and sound healing as well. So I'm in a creative flow that's working for me, and it's come together like in pieces, a lot of times you feel like there's just so much in the air and you want it to kind of just settle down into something. And I feel like that's happening and it feels good because like I already know what it's settling to. But it feels good to see it coming down and feeling that solidness and, versus when it's floating in the air. I would say too, this month has helped me to talk to this camera a lot easier. I did it in a month span. I did this more than I have before. So good night, Fetty. Thanks for joining in. So thank you for everybody that did join my lives too, because that does help me, especially when you comment and say things or Instagram sending hearts. Like it feels like you're talking to people versus just talking to the screen. So that's been helpful too. It's just doing more of that and getting more comfortable with it. And then talking more about myself because I told you that was not like my comfortable area. So I purposely talked more about myself. And even there, we have layers to that. I'll do what's comfortable for me. But it's all, everything I always focus on is healing and living better, living fuller, and taking better care of our bodies and each other. And I feel like the change now would be really, really realizing the importance of relationships, all of the relationships, and pretty much how our life is formed on how we relate to each other. And so if you can put more emphasis on how you relate to yourself and each other, the kids, your spouses, your friends, how you talk to each other, how vulnerable you are with each other. Like those things I really fell into. Like for instance, with my nieces, they're 8 years old, they're twins. I'm affectionate, right? Touch is my language of love. I know it is. But there was just like certain awkwardness with hugging them really tight and stuff. And it wasn't there at first because, I was there since they were born. But after, I think it was like a lot of public things and exposure or harassment that I had gotten that kind of put more of a shell around me, hardened me. And so even just like being affectionate with the kids, like I didn't realize I wasn't really relaxing into it. And so I purposely started to do that more and like hug them longer, take a deep breath with them and get comfortable with that. And I thought about, that could have something to do with the lack of affection growing up as kids because we didn't hug. We didn't do most of those things that, people do that show love and touch. And so with the kids, it's like, this is a new thing that we're building. It's not familiar from experience, but it's familiar from being human and being nurturing. And so, thank you. I'm just being myself. But it's that nurturing energy. Like it feels good to like really give it and not be holding it back. Like we're not supposed to be holding back, especially when you're with people that you love. But just imagine, like, there's somebody in your family or somebody in the past where it's just like, I should not be this uncomfortable with somebody so familiar to me or so close to me. But you are. And sometimes we can't recall or understand why we're uncomfortable. But I feel like a lot of it does have to do with childhood trauma. A lot of it has to do with molestation, with sexual abuse. All of those things subconsciously create barriers and it makes our cells callous, actually. So when we talk about armoring and getting hard, building up walls, like that's literally happens on a cellular level. So your cells get hard, they're not carrying energy, they're not carrying electrical signals and the information as thoroughly, as efficiently. So you're shutting down slowly. There's less lights turning on in the building. And we feel that with like things like depression or feeling sad or lonely, that lack feeling, and when I feel negative feelings, I try to think of, if I don't, know why I feel that way. I think of You gotta stay hydrated. I think of what I'm missing. Like, what do I feel like I'm lacking right now? When we're angry, we could be lacking something like respect. We could be lacking support, nourishment that can make us feel pain. That pain could express itself as anger. It could express itself as dissociation, being distant, being disconnected. It's like, okay, if you're not going to listen to how I feel, if you're not going to, connect with me as a human, then I'm just going to cut this shit off. And subconsciously, that's what we do. And it might take a lot, it might take a certain person to really open that back up, or a certain event where maybe you're sick of it. I know there's a certain part where I was tired of being hard, and not hard like gangsta hard, I mean, I can be, but for the most part, I'm really like this, very like nice. It's just how I am. And so, but hard as in not really letting anybody in, especially like with romantic relationships. It's like you have to prove that you are not gonna screw me over, you're not gonna abuse me, you're not gonna trick me into something that I don't wanna do to make me trust you. And those are like those little child, that distrust that we have deep inside somewhere. Or things that have happened early, later on in adulthood, with relationship you have, they create trauma, which is like a wall you build up to say, I don't want this shit to happen again, so how can we prevent this? And imagine going through a bunch of things and you just end up like all these walls built up. Next thing you know, you're in a damn fortress, and you still want to be in love, you still want a family, you still want to do, things that are fulfilling, but you can't even get out of your own walls that you built up. Like, that's self-prison, and I think of those things, how it's you can't teach those things, but if we can just have like regular tools, or just have conversations that really open up that kind of language and vulnerability, then it's like we can get through things a lot better. We won't be holding on to things so long. But it takes a trust. It really takes trust, and it takes time to build trust, even with yourself. So, I mean, honestly, I don't even know how we got to that part of the conversation, because I was talking about, oh yeah, the touching and the kids and stuff, yeah. So I've touch is my language of love, and I want more of it, but also I want to be able to give it, right? So give and take freely. And the receiving part at some point was very like awkward at first, at some point in my life. But now I feel like I'm definitely at like a balance where I just love giving touch. I love receiving touch and affection. One of the things that makes it awkward for me is not that, but one of the languages of love that are awkward for me is actually words of affirmation. I could give them if that's what you like, but it's growing on me. It's definitely growing on me. But like the other things are very, very like easy, but that one is awkward, and so that's some more reason for me to do more of it. And more reason for me to do what I'm doing with my throat chakra and singing, because that's part of it. Something about the expression of those kinds of things coming out. Like, it doesn't make me feel like bad or anything. It's just, yeah, it just doesn't feel, it doesn't feel like something I want that flows out easily. And when it does, but sometimes it does, right? So sometimes I'm just like sitting there and I'm overwhelmed with love for my friend. Like yesterday. Like, one of my best friends, sometimes I look at her and I just think she's just amazing and beautiful. And I know her well enough to know that she's beautiful, like inside, out, on a side, diagonal, through and through. So the love that I have for her is so full and so complete. And if I told her that, like to her face, yeah, it'd probably be awkward. Just like I just laughed, that means it's awkward. So, but I could tell her that I could, and I think it would be her that would make it awkward too. Now I'm thinking of it, because she doesn't receive it. So maybe that's why. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, see, we're still just like trying things and learning. And I like to get to know myself, but also not stay in the comfort zones of what I know or what I get to learn. And so, yeah, like I get to know that, wow, I really love touch. I really love acts of service. Like that's how I show love. I do anything for I cook, clean, make you stuff, massage you. Like that's how I show love. But the one thing that's awkward, that's what I've been doing more of. And yeah, it feels good. Like I think that makes me feel like I'm living life and not just like staying in my comfort zone. So yeah, this is nice. I'm gonna go now. But this is my blog to just get on here and just do it. So I'm happy I did. It got comfortable, okay? And I'm really I'm hungry, y'all. I wanna go eat. Usually I do the end of the day videos for me is right before dinner. Because once I eat, I'm done. So I make sure I do them before I eat and then I go eat. And do my little nightcap ritual. I stretch. You gotta stretch after you eat because it helps you digest a lot better. Hi, Auntie Dina. I hope you just popped in. I didn't want you all up in my other business earlier. My aunt says that she's gonna come on one of my videos. She's gonna do a Zoom call with me. So I just told on you and you better be, yep, she gonna do it because she does what she says. So we're gonna do it. And I'm so grateful to have family that is open to talking. And I think like my aunt, she's like on the same wave of just wanting to get, like we're growing still, getting to know ourselves, getting to know each other, and it's just living life, like generations living life and healing together. Like I could ask for no better setup, you know? It's a good setup. So I got no complaints. But have a beautiful night, everybody. If you didn't go look at the last one I did, the last video, go look at them. The lives are really good. Oh yeah, last thing, thank you for the donations. We're able to donate like blankets, toothbrushes, pads, socks and gloves, a lot of socks and gloves for the homeless in Santa Ana. And they picked up the donations yesterday. So they'll be going to the families this week. So thank you everybody that donated, and just say when. Okay, I'm gonna hit you up. We should do it before I leave to Ghana. So I got 5 days. So after this, y'all gonna be hearing all about this Ghana trip because I have to get a COVID test. So I'm gonna take the phone with me when I do that. Actually, they do it in the car. They just come in your car and just kind of like swab your nose and give you your paper. So I gotta do that and pack. Like my packing situation is a pile of clothes in the closet and then the suitcase is right next to it. And then somehow I'm gonna put all that stuff into the suitcase. And I've been doing that for a month. I'm just throwing stuff at the suitcase for a month. So I should have everything I need by now. And I'm getting to the point of excitement. You know how it is, like there's anticipation and all that, but I'm getting to the point of excitement and looking forward to the trip. There's gonna be a lot going on. But the lunar eclipse is tonight, so look up. I think it starts like at 11 or something like that. So look up the lunar eclipse, and it's in Orion as well, because I just was looking at it before. But I hope you have a beautiful night, y'all. Leave a love. If you didn't watch Too Blessed yet, go watch the video and share it and like it because you want to support me. And it's a beautiful song. My aunt loves it. If my aunt loves it, my sister loves it, it's a good song, I promise you. Those are some tough judges. Have a good night. Leave with love.